Hi there, Mouseketeers! Princess Minnie here. I hope you have just had the most incredible holiday season, whatever you personally celebrate. My family, we celebrate Christmas, and then we had an amazing New Year's, and it was just such a great start to 2019. And I kind of feel like this video is just a teeny tiny like tad late coming, though what we got for Christmas video. And I say we because I'm going to share with you the things that I got for Christmas. Not everything, but a lot of things. And also some of the cool things I gave John for Christmas, because I did give him some pretty cool stuff as well, and so did some family members. So I'm gonna share that with you. It's not gonna be very organized, friends. I'm looking around and I have stuff everywhere. I'm gonna be really excited to get it all organized now that I've shared it with you guys. Our original plan was actually to open a few gifts on camera, but our Christmas kind of didn't go a little bit as planned, and we kind of just really needed that like alone time opening gifts together, John and I. So we took that and we had such a great time. We wake up usually around like 3:30 in the morning. This year we slept in a little bit till about 4:45, and this year we actually gave our kitty cats, Cortland and Kato, their gifts first. So they had some toys to play with as we opened our gifts, and they also got a nice big cat perch. Not excessive. It's about the height of our couch, and it sits behind our couch so we can all kind of hang out together. And they've been loving that. So if you are a returning friend, then welcome back to the channel, and I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope you tell me, you know, some of the cool stuff you got for the holidays down below, whether you bought it for yourself, because we do that, right? Like, we have to give ourselves gifts sometimes, and or whether someone you love bought it for you. Or if you bought something super cool for somebody else, that would also be cool to know. If you are a new friend, thank you so much for stopping by. Please hit that subscribe button, the notification icon bell, because you are going to love it here, I think. I can't wait for the next few months of this channel. It's going to be super fun. I have a feeling today's video is going to be a little bit lengthy. I'm going to try not to tell too many stories, but if you're a returning friend, you know that's hard for me. So let's get started. I'm going to start with some pretty big books. John and I are both readers, but both of us feel like we have fallen off the reading wagon a little bit. For me, I read a lot in the summertime. As a teacher, when I have, you know, a lot of time off, I'll just like breeze through books like nobody's business. But during the school year, it gets a little bit harder. I just get distracted, you know, with working out at night, cooking dinner, cleaning the house, doing YouTube. There's a lot going on. So reading kind of has taken a back seat. But happy to announce we are fully getting back into it. And what John and I have done for the past couple of years is we exchange a book to read on Christmas Eve. And like I said, this Christmas kind of got a little bit off track for us. A little bit was not exactly what we had planned. So we actually wound up exchanging our books on Christmas Day, but that was totally cool. So the book that John got for me is called The Death of Mrs. Westaway. I love reading books that are kind of like thriller mysteries, and that is definitely what this author does. Her name is Ruth Ware, and all her books are set in England. This is her fourth book. All have made the New York Times list, and actually the reason I know about this author is because 2 years ago, I think, John got me one of her books, and I devoured it. So her books are called In a Dark, Dark Wood, which is the first one I read, and I mean, I highly recommend. I bought myself The Woman in Cabin 10, incredible. And I also bought myself her third book called The Lying Game, but I waited. I usually like to wait until books go from hardcover to paperback because they're cheaper. And I really like reading paperbacks a little bit better than hardcover, actually. So I still have yet to read The Lying Game, but because John bought me this one for Christmas, you can see I like to use the front and back cover as a bookmark. So I am about halfway done this book, and this book is really great. It says, on a day that begins like any other, Harriet Westaway receives a mysterious letter bequeathing her a substantial inheritance from her grandmother. Hal knows there's been a mistake. Her grandparents have been dead for more than 20 years, and she hasn't had anyone to help her since her mother died 3 years ago. But the bills are piling up, and Hal is running out of options. Down on her luck and worn thin by the weight of adulthood, Hal can't help but wonder if the cold reading skills she's honed as a tarot card reader might help her claim the money. Soon, Hal finds herself at Trepassin, the sprawling estate in the English countryside where the deceased Mrs. Westaway's family has gathered to pay their respects and claim the bequest. But it doesn't take Hal very long to realize there's something very, very wrong about this strange situation and the inheritance at the center of it. So that's the kind of book I like to read. I highly recommend Ruth Ware, the amazing author of these books. For me and for any of those of you out there who are American, or possibly just like non-European, I very rarely find myself like lost in the book because of any kind of, you know, British slang or anything like that. Like, that doesn't happen. But every once in a while they'll use like a word or maybe talk about a custom or something that's clearly very English, and I'm like, all right, this was not written by an American. Like, it's just like kind of those funny little moments. So I'm loving this book and I highly, highly recommend it. And yes, John did buy it for me hardcover because he just knows I like this author and we weren't going to wait for it to come out on in paperback. The book I got for John for our Christmas Eve tradition that turned into a Christmas Day present is from George R.R. Martin, the author of the Game of Thrones series, and it's called Fire and Blood. And the little like tagline snippet here says, 300 years before Game of Thrones, dragons ruled Westeros. And we're big Game of Thrones fans, but I have not read the book series and I'm not planning on it unless the author finishes the series. But he's a little bit older and he's not in the best shape, and he writes slowly. Like, it takes him years and years and years to come out with a book. So I'm not 100% certain that he's going to be able to finish the series, and I don't really want to get started with a book series if I know it's not going to have an official ending. So I'm going to just enjoy the TV series on HBO unless he does finish it, which I'm rooting for. But this one, Fire and Blood, is all about how the Targaryen family ruled Westeros for many hundreds of years, and it actually has some pretty cool illustrations, just like here for an example. And one thing John and I like to do is actually sit and read a book side by side together, like sometimes even like, oh, here's another illustration page. Sometimes, like, if I'm sitting on the left, I'll read the left page and then he'll read the right page. Or sometimes, like, I'll read a chapter and then he'll read the next chapter. And we usually also, like, do the voices, and, like, I'll take the girl characters and he'll take the male characters. Or if there's, like, fun character, like, we might split it up. So that's just something we like to do together, and I think that we will really enjoy this book, and I can't wait to get started. The next thing I think I'll talk about is jewelry. I'm not a huge jewelry person. I do have an Alex and Ani bangle to show you just one. And the story behind it's a little weird because I bought it for myself, kind of. But I do love Alex and Ani bangles. I especially love the ones that are the charms and not, like the metal charms and not with color in them, although I do have like one or two with color. And I have a gold collection, a silver collection, and a rose gold collection, which is probably my favorite. I have a few Disney ones, and I like to kind of keep them separate. Like, I've wound up getting some gold princess ones, and I have some silver park ones, like Walt Disney World Castle and Epcot. I think I have, or maybe, no, I don't think I have Epcot yet, but I have Animal Kingdom. So I'd like to get more of the silver ones for the park icons, and I'd like to get some more Alex and Ani's over time, but it's not a collection I like rush or anything. And the one I'm wearing, I'll show you, it's from my gold collection, and it's actually an otter. So this bangle is this cute little otter. I love his little feet, and I love his little hands and his tail curled around his bottom. And this came as a set of 2. So when I say I bought it for myself, I didn't really like go on the website and purchase an otter bangle. This came as a set of 2, and what you do is you give it to someone who you love, and you both wear one, kind of like best friend bangles or something. And the other one was slightly larger. I picked this one out to wear, I picked this one out for myself, and I gave the other one to my sister Lauren. And my sister and I have not always had the best relationship, unfortunately. We kind of drifted apart for a number of years, and we've since reconnected. And this was very meaningful because the otters hold hands, I think, as they like drift down the river, so that they don't lose sight of each other, they don't lose touch, they stay together, they don't lose one another, and that's exactly what she and I want to make sure that we do. So like an otter's like a thing for us now, and I gave it to her and she was like, I love otters, and I didn't even know that, so that was perfect. And so for Christmas I gave her the box that had the second otter in it, and she goes, wait, you're wearing an otter, right? Because I knew she would like check my bracelets out, but yes, I wanted to be wearing it when she opened it so I could be like, here's mine and here's yours. And so that's very meaningful to us, and she loves her Alex Nannies, and she got some other Alex Nannies as well. I got her like a rose gold holly set for Christmas, very pretty. So this is like kind of a gift for myself, but it's a two-part gift. Then some years John gets me more jewelry than others. This was a jewelry light year, but I really love what he gave me. So he actually bought me these earrings, and I've worn these in I think 2 videos now, and I really love these. And he just we actually both went out independently on Christmas Eve morning. I had to go to Target to get some gift bags, and he wanted to go get a few more things for me because he loves waiting to the last minute. I don't get it, but whatever. And so he went out to a store called Charming Charlie in our mall, so not a very expensive store at all. If you have a Charming Charlie around you, you might even be able to get these if you like them. So here's that earring. I really think it's beautiful. I don't have a ton of earrings that look like this, like a drop, and I just think it's really classy looking. I think that it probably looks way more expensive than it was also, so I really do like that. He got me this necklace to go with it. I don't believe they were part of a set, but then I was like, these go perfectly together. So I have worn this. I wore this in my New Year's resolution video. And again, I just think this looks way more expensive than it was. So I really do enjoy this. It's not quite a choker, but it's not a long necklace either. So I needed more necklaces of that length anyhow. And I love just that he knew me well enough to pick out things that I loved like this. And that's it for jewelry for this year, which is fine by me. I'm not the biggest jewelry wearer, but when I get jewelry, I feel like it means a lot to me and it's very special, and all those pieces are. The next thing I want to show you guys is something that I got before Christmas from John, because if you know him at all, you know he cannot wait, and I think that's very cute, very charming. And so, I'm not going to go into a big preamble, I'm just going to show you. It is the Harlequin Nightmare Before Christmas Funko Pop, and it is out of its packaging because, like I said, I've had it for a few weeks now, and it actually has sat on our mantle place, and I have this really cute Christmas decoration, and what I did is I kind of just slid him coming out from the decoration, so it really kept making me laugh that I would just peek over to my mantle and I would just see this like face coming out, and I thought it was hysterical. And so here he is, Harlequin. He is, he's called the Harlequin Demon, but I just kind of think of him as like a monster, and I love his little like feathery kind of look. He has his hammer that he uses to make a rat hat for a child for Christmas. He has this amazing hair, and look, his mouth doesn't connect just like in the movie, which I think is the best part of that. He has those flat Funko eyes, which work very well for a demon or a monster, and his head does move a little bit, which is good for positioning. And he sits nicely, like his head is heavy, but he's very well balanced. The funny story about the Harlequin Pop, though, is that, you know, John and I, if you've been watching this channel, have been opening a lot of Nightmare Before Christmas pins and talking a lot about that movie in the past, like, month and a half or so, and he reads all my comments, and so I was saying how much I really loved this character, and a bunch of you in the comments were like, oh, you know, there's a Harlequin Funko Pop, and I was like, I know, I actually hope, you know, fingers crossed that it's under my Christmas tree. Because maybe about a month and a half ago, I found it on eBay. I found the Funko Pop, and I said, John, look, I'm gonna buy this Funko Pop. And he was like, don't buy it. And the way he said it was not like, don't buy it, you shouldn't have it. It was like, wink, wink, I'm getting it for you. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm getting it, I'm getting it. And so I was really excited. So I kept telling all of you, fingers crossed, it's under my Christmas tree. I don't know what happened, but John he said to me, he goes, oh, I had no idea this thing existed. I was like, I showed you. He goes, I don't remember that at all. He goes, I only found out you were expecting it because of your comments. So I really appreciate everybody who wrote that in the comments, because otherwise I would not have gotten my Harlequin Funko Pop. There was just like wires crossed, like weird moment there. It was really funny. So let me share something else that I bought for John for Christmas. And I mean, it's one of those gifts. It's like, it's a gift for our whole house, which means me, but he really did like it. And we have a bunch of Nightmare Before Christmas fans in the family, so they liked it when they came over to our house to celebrate as well. We actually had family come over late on December 30th. My sister and her husband and their 2 girls, and my mom and my grandma, because we didn't really get to see, especially my sister and her family, too much on actual Christmas. So we kind of made it a new tradition where they'll come over a few days after Christmas. And that's one of the reasons this video is going up a little late, because I knew they'd get us some Disney stuff and I wanted to make sure I included that in this video. Now, what I got for John is this amazing snow globe from Nightmare Before Christmas, and inside the ball is Sally. And I'm not a huge snow globe fan, but I just was like, I think for the holidays this is going to be perfect, and it also plays music. So here it is in a close-up view, and you can see Sally looking lovely, and the tree is gorgeous, I think. I like how much of the space the characters actually take up in the globe itself. And then you have Santa Jack here with some presents, and then when you turn it around, you have this scary wreath, which I think is just a super fun detail there. And when you wind it up, it actually moves the snow around, which I think is very helpful, and it plays What's This? And so my sister and her family came over on well, our second Christmas day. I had that going, and I like wound it real tight all the way so it would play for a couple of minutes, and I was burning the Wishes Candle Co. candle Nightmare Mansion, which is a Nightmare Before Christmas inspired scent, and that my sister, I gave it early to her for Christmas so she could burn it throughout like the week leading up to Christmas as well, and she loved that. She has burned through it. And John greeted them in a Jack Skellington mask and Santa beard, so it was like a very funny Nightmare Before Christmas moment that we had. Since we're on Nightmare Before Christmas, let's do 2 more Nightmare Before Christmas things and then move on to some other categories of gifts as well. John bought me the movie moments pop of at the end of Nightmare Before Christmas when Santa has spread his snowflakes all throughout Halloween Town. Sally is in the graveyard on the spiral hill, and Jack kind of comes and says, and you can see their heads move, Jack kind of comes and says to her, like, we're simply meant to be. Which I actually find like a very weird part of the movie, to be honest. I find these 2 a very strange couple, but it seems to work for them, and I like this pop a lot. So here they are. I love all the details of this. There's some icicles hanging off the hill. The tombstone and the pumpkins all are covered in snow. I think the characters look phenomenal, and it does go all the way around with some good details. It's even their footprints in the snow. I mean, come on, that's killer. And this has been sitting like next to our TV because I really love looking at it. I don't know if this is something I'll have up all year round because it is snowy. And I do kind of keep their faces more turned towards each other. But I really like this. I knew I was getting this because John and I are together pretty much all the time. So we found this together and I was like, oh my god, that's awesome. And he was like, okay, I'll get this for you. Now, my in-laws, John's parents, actually wound up going to Disney World, like a kind of a spur-of-the-moment trip with his sister and her husband and their baby for Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. And they were like, is there anything we should get you or John while we're in Disney? So I kind of sent them like a whole list, and the only thing I said I thought John would like was this bad boy. It is a Jack Skellington dressed as Santa with Zero Nutcracker. And I want to say they got this in Hollywood Studios, but I'm not 100% sure if that's true. My favorite element to this is Zero. I love his little jack-o'-lantern nose, but John's favorite is definitely Jack. And then this hat is a little bit bendy. I like the position it's in now, so I'm going to leave it, but you can bend this a little bit. And then the present has little monster eyes. I think that's hysterical. And Jack's mouth, well, not really his mouth, but like there is the opening to crack nuts, I suppose. So I was really pleased that they had gotten this for him. Nightmare Before Christmas was a huge theme this year for gifts because John and I love it, so we got each other Nightmare Before Christmas gifts, but then my sister and her family love it, so we also got each other Nightmare Before Christmas gifts, so there are more coming up in this video. The next thing I want to show you is leaving Disney entirely and going to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. I think it was from Hot Topic. John and I buy a lot at Hot Topic because they just have such great fandom merch. These are Ravenclaw socks and they are very long. They're knee-high, which I love knee-high socks, thigh-high socks. I'm a big fan, wearing socks constantly. And I am House Ravenclaw, so he had to get these for me. For a long time we thought he was a Ravenclaw too because he's like super smart, but he's really just more of a Gryffindor. He's probably like a Gryffindor, like in all honesty, if you get my drift. I'm pretty Ravenclaw. I'm pretty set in my ways. But these were great, and I again got these a few days before Christmas because he couldn't wait. And just a quick, nice close-up. I love the Ravenclaw colors. I'm a big blue girl, so that always works for me. And since we've departed Disney, I am going to show you one entirely non-fandom thing. John got me some Yankee candles, which are very expensive, and he definitely reminds me of that. But these candles really, really last forever. I've been having this one back here. I think I did start burning it at the beginning of the season, but it still has a pretty good chunk of wax left, and I burn it constantly. So I feel like you do pay a lot for the Yankee candles, but they do last the longest that I've found. And their scents are really, really nice and strong. So John got me Sun-Drenched Apricot Rose and Honey Lavender Gelato. And these are really cool. They smell exactly like what they say. It's a really beautiful, like, lilac-y color, almost gray too, like a purpley gray. And then this really beautiful, like, peach, pink, rose kind of color. And the funny story about this is John, he bought this like, I think on that Christmas Eve morning trip, and he comes home and he goes, Kate, you know, you get to the front and they try to sell you like, oh look, it's our discounted merch, it's our Christmas, it's on the way out discount merch. And he's like, no, I want your all year round good stuff, like nothing discounted for my wife. I want the expensive candles that you have all year long, like your real good stuff. So I had to tell that story because he loves to tell that story. And I think these colors are beautiful. I think the scents are lovely. So I am going to wait to burn these, I think, for the springtime, because these colors just scream springtime to me. But that's no problem because I got a lot of Christmas candles still to burn. We'll stay off Disney again for a brief second. My in-laws got me this cute little like purse. I guess it's like for maybe gift cards, but gift card was not in this. Instead, it was like a pair of earrings that I guess they knew someone who was hand making these, and they're really funny, and they kind of said it was like, it's not a joke gift, but it's like they know I won't use these too much gift. But last year, John and I went to a bunch of NBA games. We're big NBA fans. We have the Sixers here in Philadelphia, but my favorite team is the Milwaukee Bucks. And these are so cute though. We've been to a few Sixers games. We definitely will be going to more in the future. And they're little basketballs, and they do say 76ers. So anytime I go to a basketball game, or if like we're going out to watch basketball on TV, like at a friend's house or out to like a restaurant slash bar, like these will definitely be coming with me. So here these are, and I just thought they were too cute and too unique not to share with you guys. Staying on the topic of my in-laws purchases, but going back to Disney, like I said, they were there for the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, and two things I asked for were pins from the party, and they were not able to actually get all the pins that I asked for. Like already, some of them had like sold out, and they went to like every store that sold the pins. So that was a bummer for them, and I mean, it's great. I got two amazing pins, and these would definitely have been ones that I would have like bought myself if I had been there and could have. So we have a limited release pin for the party, and I just think the castle is incredible. I definitely collect things that have the castle on them. I love how Mickey and Minnie are looking here. It has such a cute dangle element, and we didn't get to the party, of course, this year, but maybe next year. And I love how they framed the castle with the wreath. They were able to get me this limited edition pin from the Christmas party, and I like that it says 2018 because that was a great year for John and I in terms of Disney. And it's this pretty wreath, and then it's a hinge pin, and when you pop it up, you just get to see more of the picture that you can see through the wreath. Chip and Dale building a snowman, which is super cute. I love their winter gear in front of the castle. So again, castle connection, I love it. So these were definitely, I think, my favorite gifts, except for one other thing that I am going to show you coming up. They totally surprised me by picking me up a towel set, and I love these kitchen towels so much. Like, this was like a home run for me. It says Minnie Mouse on the front, and then the secondary tail is red, and red will look very good in our kitchen, and it has like a bunch of park icons on it. There's a close-up of the park icons one. You can see Minnie's shoe, you can see the Mickey head, you can see the teacup, the sun from Small World, Minnie's hat. Like, there are just so many cool things here. And of course you have the castle. You need the castle in life. And a close-up of the white towel that says Minnie Mouse. So, I mean, perfection, right? Then this bag, I believe they said my father-in-law picked out for me, which is such a sweet concept. And he saw this, I want to say they said in the Polynesian, and it's just this cool backpack that has Minnie Mouse's face on it, and it's definitely like more old-fashioned Minnie Mouse with her flower hat. And so this could definitely be good for like a carry-on on the airplane, like just a little travel thing for upcoming Disney trips. Now, my favorite present that my in-laws got me was, the pins were like a close runner-up, because I do love pins, of course, but they got me something that my mother-in-law actually texted me from the park. She was like, do you like this? And I was like, I love that. I didn't even know it existed, and that's what, you know, made me extra special happy about it. They saw it and they thought of me, and then I did love it, and it's something I don't usually love. And it is this tote bag, and it's Christmas themed. It says Merry and Bright, which I adore, but then my favorite part, and of course like the plaid, my favorite part is the Mickey face. I love this whole thing is Mickey dressed up like a reindeer with the ornaments dangling, and the scarf is so great. I love this bag so much, and I don't typically like tote bags. Like, this will not be going to the beach with me or out of the house or anything like that. Instead, what I'll do is I'll actually carry my ear making materials around in this, which just makes me really happy. I have a Halloween one that I have some Halloween ear stuff in, and this will be great for making, you know, more holiday ears, or, you know, just like ears even in the summertime. We'll say Christmas in July. They also got John and I one each of these two things, and I don't know where they picked these up, honestly, but they are Harry Potter, I hesitate to say books because it's not like a story or anything in here, guys. Instead, this one says Quidditch, which I think this one was for John, and this one says Patronus Charm, so I think that was for me, and they're called Magical Film Projections. And so I think what happens is you open it up, and okay, it says how to use this book. It says shine a beam of light from a flashlight lamp or cell phone through the window of each page to cast shadows of your favorite scenes on a wall or ceiling, and you can read along with the script provided for each one. So that's kind of interesting. And so it actually has like, hey guys, it actually has these like scenes from the movie, and you can probably see it a little bit better if I give it a background. And so this one is Lupin actually teaching or actually protecting Harry, and I think they're getting rid of the Dementor on the train. And so this one's all about learning to use the Patronus Charm, and it has like a whole bunch of scenes. They're way too hard to see without anything behind them, but the Minnie Mouse towel will be helpful. Look, you can see here it's actually his Patronus, the deer, the stag. And so that's pretty neat. I probably do prefer the Patronus one to the Quidditch one, but that one's for John anyhow. It has a cool golden snitch on the front, and same concept. You just shine your flashlight through it and you learn all about Quidditch, and you see cool scenes from the movie about Quidditch. The next thing, this is a John to Kate present, and it is from Bob's Burgers, a Coochie Copy nightlight, and it does kind of glow in the dark a little bit. It's not like the most glowy that you'll see for a nightlight, but it's just one of the characters from Bob's Burgers, the little girl, and she has this as her nightlight, and it kind of factors into the different seasons in different funny ways. And I am a huge Bob's Burgers fan, so this was just definitely making me smile when I saw it. So he's just this like supposed to be kind of like anime creature that the girl has, and like I said, he's never alive, but they like imagine him to be and things like that. So it's a pretty cool part of Bob's Burgers, and that's my favorite show. So it was nice to have something from that series this Christmas. For something else I got John, I actually bought way back in the summertime when we went to Disneyland and we fell in love with the Hatbox Ghost. So I snuck away secretively and I've kept this hidden for months now, which is a big accomplishment for me. And John did not get this till Christmas Day and it's one of his favorite gifts. It is the Hatbox Ghost on a mug, and this side has his face, this side has a pretty cool saying, so let me give you some close-ups of that. But it is a hefty mug, which is awesome for us because we drink tea like nobody's business in this house. Just your basic black background with the face on this side, and my sister says she thinks it, like she was using it on Christmas because she loves him even though she hasn't seen Haunted Mansion yet. She just loves Haunted Mansion, she just loves him. So, and you can see how big it is, oh my goodness gracious. And she says she thinks it glows in the dark a little bit, which makes sense with the coloring on it. On this side you have the Hatbox Ghost again, and this time it says the maddest hatter of them all, which I think is hysterical. Something else I got for John, which he did get before Christmas because he was a little sad one day before Christmas and he went, you'll see how manipulative he is, everybody, by the way. He goes, man, I really wish I had a Christmas present to open right now. What am I supposed to do? Like be like, sorry, I gotta wait 3 more days. No, you give him the Christmas present. So I let him do it. I let him manipulate me, but it's all in good fun. And he got the Nightmare Before Christmas and Monopoly. John is great at Monopoly. It's very annoying. He always wins. So even though I used to love Monopoly before I met him, I have not loved it so much in the past 13 years. But I saw this and I had to get it for him, and I'm becoming a bit of a better sport about losing. So part of the gift is always, of course, that I agree to play it. Isn't that nice? So again, another Hot Topic purchase. Pretty cool on the cover. And the back, you can see that this is like an absolutely gorgeous board. Like, I actually can't wait to break into this and see what it looks like. And you have some really cool characters you can play as. And I think I would probably want to play as Zombie Duck. I think that would be a pretty cool character. And while we're on the topic of board games, John loves board games. If I had done this video this time last year, you would have seen probably about 8 or 9 different board games that I had gotten for him. This one was a present from my sister Lauren and her husband Eric. And it's not Disney, it's Game of Thrones again. Like I said, big fans. And this is Game of Thrones Risk. John loves Risk. He has gotten me to try to play it exactly 1 time in nearly 13 years because I just did not get the hang of it. We were in college, I think, or maybe even high school, and I didn't get the hang of it, and I was a little confused, and he was like amassing this army like crazy fast, and I remember like having to roll a die, and like mine was just not lucky every single roll, so finally I was like, oh, I think I'm done with this. But again, when you buy someone a board game, which I did not buy this, but I did suggest this for them as a gift for him, you do say, I'll play this with you. So I guess playing Game of Thrones Risk is in my future very shortly. You can see like 4 of the major house symbols at the bottom. And this might be more meaningful to you than it is to me because I don't know. I know that they do have a reversible board, which seems pretty cool. And then these are the tokens for the different houses. And I don't know what house I would be. I might be the Baratheons. Might be the Targaryens. Not sure. Since we're again on the subject of non-Disney items, another fandom, this connects a little bit to Disney though, another fandom that John and I love is We Bare Bears, and it is very much a child show. But when we were in Disneyland, there were times where we'd come back to the hotel and this show would be on, so we kind of discovered it, and then I found out that Hulu had it. So we watched this like non-stop all summer. It's the story of like these 3 bears who are brothers, and there's a panda bear, a polar bear, and a grizzly bear, and they are just hysterical. So John got me a collection of their socks, again I believe from Hot Topic, and I just am in love with them. So these are the 3 brothers. I wore this pair like immediately, which is why it's separate from the rest of them. But I did want to make sure I showed you because this is my favorite pair from the whole set. This one, the bears do something where they walk around, it's called the stack. So they walk around like on top of each other, and that's what that looks like. This sock is representing the polar bear, whose name is Ice Bear. You have Grizz, the grizzly bear, and you have Panda or Pan, the panda bear. I'm definitely a big sock fan, like I told you before, so those will get a ton of use. Now, something else that got an unexpected ton of use was the first gift I opened on Christmas. I was like, and John knew it, he was like, you're not in love with that. And I'm like, I'm not good at pretending. But I wound up taking it around with me to all the houses we visited on Christmas Day, and people really thought it was funny. You might know what it is when I show it to you. I knew what it was as soon as I opened it because I've seen this all around Facebook. It's a cute little unicorn, and look. This sad little unicorn. I believe her name is Glenda? Glenda Glitter Poop or something like that. But she's a sad little unicorn until you press her cheeks and then this happens. Ah! It actually is pretty funny. I am a big unicorn fan, and they have this in a few different animals. I'll just show you guys once again. Here she is, all sad, all sad. Ah! And then I actually rather like her when she's like that. She's like, grrr. So if you have a little kid in your family who's just a little bit creepy, and I can say that because I have some little kids in my family who you're a little worried what they're gonna turn out to be one day. This is probably a pretty funny gift to get for them, and I do like it. Unfortunately, she had a little accident on second Christmas Day where I just had too much going on near each other, and she got a little bit caught on fire from the Nightmare Before Christmas Wishes Candle Co. Nightmare Mansion candle. So she has like a little blood stain on her, which, I mean, it's red candle wax, but it kind of looks like blood, and I think that that's pretty appropriate for her. It's a little scary. One of the final Nightmare Before Christmas items I want to show to you in this haul is a gift from my sister and her husband to me, and it is this enormous figurine set of Jack and Zero. This is definitely something I kept my eye on. I absolutely love the Zero. You can really see, hopefully you guys can see it there, his jack-o'-lantern nose, and John loves Jack. So this will probably go out and stay up as an all year long decoration. Really cool though. I know this video has been a little bit all over the place, that's how I live my life, but I think I have 2 more Game of Thrones things to show you, and then I think everything else pretty much is Disney related, and we are getting down to the end, folks, and I have some really cool stuff to show you. At the very end, I'm going to show you my 2 favorite gifts from all of Christmas, and I am going to show you John's favorite gift from Christmas as well. So, something I bought for John is this Game of Thrones calendar. It has the Night King on the front and like some really cool characters as well on the back. So here's the front. I'll let you see some of these characters right now. I actually have torn out the first couple pages, and this character right here is on our refrigerator. And so that's what I do. If you saw my New Year's video, I have a Jim Shore Disney calendar like this for myself. And so we tear the pages out, we put it on our fridge, and we write down like our goals, our eating habits, our fitness tracker. So it just kind of keeps us remembering to stay on track for the year. This, I mean, I hate to call it a mug, goblet, I suppose, was a gift again from my sister and her husband to John, and it features a very like ornate representation of 4 major Game of Thrones houses. So you have House Lannister, House Stark, House Baratheon, and House Greyjoy as well. Oh, I'm sorry, there's actually 5. House Targaryen. And it comes with this like little removable cup for washing, which is pretty neat, and it's very, very hefty. And like a few months ago, I might not have even shown you guys all of the Game of Thrones things, but I've since realized that a ton of my Disney YouTuber friends and a bunch of you out there in comment land are big Game of Thrones fans, just like we are, so pretty cool. I think my sister might have gotten this on Amazon if anybody's interested, and I know it was not cheap, but it definitely makes an impact. Before moving on, I would be very remiss if I didn't share with you like the big gift that my sister and her husband got for John and I, and they did buy us, it was incredibly unexpected, the Nintendo Switch. I thought about getting it for John and was like, you know what, we're spending a lot already on the holidays, we always do, and I was just like, I think I'm not gonna buy that. Not only did they buy us the Switch, they bought us our two favorite games. Mine is Mario Party and John's is Mario Kart, and so we kind of like, we had it ready to go. John already has bought a bunch more games for it. We've already played it. We woke up on New Year's morning and we're playing Mario Kart, so we actually took it over to their house. Like, they were saying we have to get a Switch, and we were like, we're over here all the time, or you guys are at our house. You don't need to buy your own. It's very easy to like set up at someone else's house, so we will be playing that a lot this year. One thing John got for me, which he did give it to me a few days before Christmas, but I didn't actually open it until New Year's Eve, is a blanket. And again, it's from Hot Topic. And it features Mushu from Mulan. And Mulan is a hugely important movie to John and I. It was always his favorite princess movie. Still is. It's definitely one of my favorite Disney movies. We love Mulan and we love Mushu. So I'll try to my best to like give you an overall view of this, but as you can see, it's a pretty large blanket. I've definitely enjoyed the last few days of snuggling underneath this. John did get me a few things to open on Christmas, which he said he would, he'd be fine if I wanted to wait and open them in a video, but I think he really, really did want me to open them in front of him, and I wanted to really open them because, it's a Christmas gift. Like, you shouldn't be holding on to it too long to open. Like, he bought me this, he deserved to see me open it, so I did tease him that he got a private Princess Minnie unboxing, which actually sends us to some pins that I also opened with him later. But these are really, really awesome. I knew I was getting these Disney Princess Mystery Minis because he bought them in front of me because they were on like super clearance sale, and I was like, get a whole bunch of them, and he goes, how many do you want? And I was like, get 6. And so I got to unbox 6 of these bad boys on Christmas Day, and they're just the princesses with like an iconic sidekick. And you can see the princesses are not so rare. They're what, 1 in 12, but then all the sidekicks have different levels of rarity. Like, it would be really hard to get Raja, for instance. So I was, definitely hoping to get some matching pairs. Wanna know what I got? The first was the frog from Princess and the Frog, and I wasn't like, this was definitely one I thought was super cute. I like frogs a lot. I guess it's Prince Naveen technically, right? Like, that's a little freaky to think about. But then of course I was like, well, now I really hope I get Tiana to go with him. And she was the very next one I opened. So that was super cool. She has this beautiful crown of flowers. She has just the most gorgeous dress details. She's beautiful. And I actually felt her bun, so I thought she was gonna be like Belle or Cinderella, but I was really excited when I saw her because I had them to go together, which was super cool. And then I opened the Ice Queen herself, Elsa. And I was really happy about that because I'm a huge Elsa fan, and this one has so much detail. I mean, her hair is crazy. She's a little snowflake here at the bottom of her braid. Like, the body of her dress is gorgeous, and it just kind of continues 360 degrees. So then, of course, I consulted the back of the box, and I was like, well, she comes with this Snowgie, but it would be super cool also to get Olaf or Anna to go with Elsa. And the next one was Olaf, which is incredible. And he has like little buttons, he has his carrot nose, and I think he is just darling. And so I had them to go together. So then we were looking at the rarity and talking about who I'd like to get next, and I said, I thought the odds of getting doubles was pretty low because, there were only a few boxes left, and, there's so many characters. And I got another Elsa. So then it was like, well, who's the final character going to be? And I didn't want to get a whole bunch of these characters without their sidekick. So I actually was really rooting for Anna. And there I did not get Anna, but I did get my fave. I got Belle! And I mean, just look at how beautiful she is, and the detail in her dress, her earrings, her gloves, everything. Her hair is so, so pretty, just so perfect. And I definitely want to get more of these mystery minis to actually open on camera with you guys, especially because she needs her Cogsworth to go with her, right? Quick detour away from Disney again. I probably wouldn't mention this, but I know you guys out there love candles. My sister got me this White Barn candle from Bath & Body Works, and it's called Champagne Toast. And guys, it's a white candle, but it's in this beautiful, like super baby pink, light pink container. And I like that these candles tell you on the bottom what their scents are. So this says bubbly champagne, sparkling berries, and juicy tangerine. And for me, I definitely get the tangerine, the heaviest. It's quite lovely, and I should have burned this on New Year's Eve probably, but we weren't home, so I think this will be another springtime scent that I save. Before I go into the final items in this video, they are going to be, I'm going to completely end with my favorite items and John's favorite item that he got for Christmas. I'm going to, before that, do all the pins that John got me a ton of pins. I got him one pin, so I'm going to show you those. Before I do that, however, I am going to show you a very unexpected gift. A few days before Christmas, a fellow Disney pin lover and friend out there, Sarah, reached out to me and said that she found something she thought I would really love on Amazon and could she send it to me. And I mean, I am never going to turn down anybody's kindness or thoughtfulness. I was very flattered and just so happy that somebody thought of me like that. And so I told her sure, and she said it's a character that she feels like she's never met anybody else who liked that character, so she just thought of me immediately, and I was like, what is this going to be? I had an inkling in my head when she said that no one else had like ever said they love this character, but I still wasn't sure. So quick story time. Christmas comes and goes. We wind up having our second Christmas that I told you about with my sister and her family. And at the very end of the night, everyone was kind of like looking at our Christmas tree and admiring it. And all of a sudden I said, oh my God, we have to find the pickle. We have a little pickle ornament, which is a German tradition. And I did get this from like a German Christmas shop, not in Disney, but in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. And I remember reading a while ago when I bought this, like what the tradition is. John's German, and so I thought it'd be kind of a cute tradition. Ooh, I just took the ribbon off. I'll get that back on. But I thought it sounded like a cute tradition. You hide the pickle, and then I think you're supposed to look for it either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, and whoever finds the pickle gets like an extra present, or it's like a special thing. I don't know, probably families do it differently, honestly. But last year, I had my niece Jenna hide the pickle so that John and I could look for it on Christmas morning and not have any idea where it was. She hid it so well, we forgot. We forgot it even existed. And we didn't take our tree down until around February, like early February. And all of a sudden, all the ornaments were off, and we were about to like disassemble our tree because it comes in parts. And I was like, oh, there's a pickle in this tree! And John was like, what do you mean? And I told him about it. And so we searched and searched and searched for it, and it was so hard to find that dang pickle. Finally did. So this year I said to Jenna, you know, hide it, but maybe not quite as good as last year. And she hid it in like the very back of the tree against our fireplace. Like, I was not going to find that pickle easily. So this year I was like, oh my God, everyone needs to find the pickle. And my grandma goes, what do we get if we find it? And I was like, well, I think you're supposed to get like a special present or something, but this year I guess you just get pride because I don't have a present ready. So we looked and looked and looked and looked and looked, and after a bunch of minutes, like she hid it well, and it really blended into the tree, we found the pickle. I found the pickle. And at that exact moment, my brother-in-law walks into my house. I didn't even know he like went outside. I think he was loading the car up with Christmas presents. He walks in the house and he goes, Kate, there's a package for you. What? Like, that's so crazy. So I said that I needed to get a special present if I found the pickle, and then a present showed up at my door seconds later. It was like some crazy Christmas, but not really Christmas, magic. It was insane. So it was the gift that Sarah had said she wanted to send my way. So normally I would have saved it to open it with you guys, but my family just heard me go on and on about how like I needed this special present, and then it showed up. What? So of course I opened it in front of them, and I sent her like a thank you email. It came with this little note, and it says, Kate, Merry Christmas, though I know this will arrive after Christmas, but it arrived on my second Christmas, so you can't really get better than that. Thank you for sharing Disney magic and for being such a fun, down-to-earth person to spend time with on YouTube. From Sarah. Thank you again, Sarah. She sent me from the Bradford collection, I think it's specifically called the Hamilton Group, this little girl, and I mean, maybe she's a fairy, or maybe she's just dressed up like a fairy, I'm not sure, but she's holding my favorite Nightmare Before Christmas character, this guy, Harlequin, and she's dressed up like him too. So here she is. You can see she definitely looks like a fairy. I'm gonna guess she is actually a fairy who just really loves this character. And look, she is holding a Harlequin doll, which is just so unbelievably precious. And then she has like a little hat that echoes his antenna, or like his tentacles. I just can't believe Sarah's thoughtfulness, that she found this for me, that she got this for me, and that it came at the most magical time possible. I just was so stunned. Now into the Christmas pins that John and I got for each other. The first pin I'm going to show you, I bought again in Disneyland, and John was like right next to me as I was buying it, but he was like so oblivious to the moment. I don't know what he was doing, what he was thinking about, what he was talking about, but I was like, maybe I could just like slide this under a few other pins I'm buying and he won't even notice, and he didn't. So again, it's something I kept secret. John and I are both huge fans of the movie Cars, and John especially loves Doc Hudson, who was Lightning McQueen's mentor. And so this is a pin that represents Doc Hudson when he was the fabulous Hudson Hornet, and he was a dirt track racer. And so it's just him. It's a very classy looking pin. I'll show you that in a second. I also want to let you know that John got me a few pins, like just actually like LE pins that I'm going to show you in a minute, but he also bought me 4 boxes of this Main Street Magic Mystery Collection, which is definitely not something you can get anymore. It was a limited release box of when, I don't know. And it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pins in it. And then there's 3 chaser pins that are only limited edition of 400. So now, I had already opened all those mystery minis he gave me, and then I got these, and I said to him, I was like, I feel like I should open some of these on camera. And he said, I totally agree with you. So he's going to be in one of my very next videos opening these with me. However, I also said I thought it'd be kind of weird if I just showed you guys a bunch of boxes and was like, video coming soon. So I did open one of the boxes and got 2 incredible pins, including a chaser pin. So this is just an open edition pin that I picked up for John. I don't get him a lot of pins because I'm the much bigger pin fan in our relationship, but he likes them and he loves this character, and I thought it was just such like an adult, mature, classy looking pin, and he loves it. This is a Disneyland exclusive limited release set, and it features, it's my favorite Disney collection, it's characters at the Disney parks. And there's 3 mystery pins, of which I have 1. I'm sorry, chaser pins, of which I have 1. The first pin I opened was one of my favorite Disney characters. It's Daisy, and she's in front of one of the Disneyland Main Street buildings. I want to say maybe it's like the Emporium or something. I'm not really good at identifying the buildings on Main Street, to be honest, and if you know, please let me know. But I think that's what her outfit looks like to me, but I think she looks incredible. I didn't know what any of the chaser pins were, but I actually said to John, I was like, oh, I should look on the back first and see if they're chaser pins. Not really expecting to get one. And then I was like, oh, John, it's a chaser. So it was like some real Christmassy magic. And it is, I mean, you can't really tell which duck it is, right? But it's representing Huey, Dewey, and Louie. And I just think this pin is absolutely darling. Look at his little uniform there. And he's in front of the Disneyana building. I think that building looks gorgeous. I think he looks crazy cool, and I cannot wait to open these other 3 boxes with you guys soon. Are you guys ready to see the other LE pins that John got for me? They are some exclusive pins, and I can't even believe he found these pins. I do want to say you guys have seen a couple of them already. This one actually featuring Mickey and Minnie at Disneyland Paris was on my Christmas pin board, but I just took it off so I could show you again. We have Mickey and Minnie in their finest attire in front of a tree that has some glittery ornaments. It's hard to see the glitter because this is an older pin. It's from 2009. And John this is, I think, one of the favorite pins he's ever given me. This Harlequin pin John gave me on camera during a mystery pin unboxing, and it's only limited edition of 100. And I am still stunned by that. This is definitely one of my favorite pins of the entire year. The next 2 pins I'm going to show you, one of them features one of my absolute favorite Disney characters. It's a limited edition of 250 from 2006. Like, what? And then the other one I'm going to show you is from one of our favorite movies. It's so cute. These pins are all fitting so many different collections. And John didn't like ask me which pins I wanted or which characters I wanted. It really just shows how much he knows me. And this one's limited edition of 1,000, and I can't seem to see what year it's from. It's really little. It might actually say 20... It's in the 20 teens, but I can't tell if it's a 3, 5, something like that. I'm not sure. So first I'll show you the lower limited edition one and then the 1000. This is the 250 limited edition Scrooge McDuck pin. And look at how shiny this pin is. Scrooge by the fireplace setting up his money stocking. With, you know, you have the candles there, you have his cane, you have his little outfit. Look at his expression. I think this pin is just darling, and I'm going to put together a little Scrooge McDuck pin board, just a teeny tiny one, maybe 4 or 5 pins, and put that with the rest of my Scrooge McDuck collectibles. This 0 pin is limited edition of 1000, and his happy expression just kills me every time. I love the elements that go off the main section of the pin. 0 also has like these black gems for eyes. There's a cute swirl in the background, and it says "This is Halloween," which is "This is Halloween, this is Halloween." One of my favorite songs from the whole movie with one of my favorite characters. This next card came like wrapped up in cellophane and everything. It's recent, it's 2018. This is from the animation celebration. I had never even seen this. I saw a lot of pins from that event and I did not see this one, so I was stunned because I saw the back first and I was like, what is this going to be? Limited edition of 500, insane, featuring a character that I just completely fell in love with this past summer. Maleficent. It is a 2-pin Maleficent set. So the 2 pins come at the bottom of this beautiful backer card, so I'll show you that from top to bottom first. So you can see the dragon up at top in the clouds. You see Maleficent like turning into him. There's some fireworks, it looks like, some thorns at the bottom. It's just stunning. And then of course we get to the pins themselves, and it is Maleficent and her in her dragon form and her regular form coming off of the animation pages, and they just look incredible. I don't even know which one I like better. I truly don't, because every time I go to pick one I think, but what about the dragon, or what about her in her human form? I don't know. I think these are crazy cool, and I didn't even know these existed. John did a great job. This next pin I'm going to show you guys, I mean, it just about won Christmas. It just about won it. John and I we really do look at Christmas as like a competition, and he usually wins, but he loves one gift I'm going to show you next so much that I think I might have won just a little bit, but I don't know. Because this pin he got me is from 2014, and guys, it is a Walt Disney Imagineering WDI pin. And like I said, it's from 2014. Let me take it off the back so I can actually see what the edition size is on this one, because I can't remember. 250! 250. And guys, this was my biggest Grail pin. This was my biggest Grail pin. It fits 2 of my main collections, Christmas and my favorite princess. Look at this pin. I am so tempted to keep it always on this red backer card because I think the green and the gold just pop, and I love the color scheme here. And look, it's Belle in her gold dress, which is my favorite Belle, decorating the Christmas tree with candlesticks, and look who is the tree topper, Lumiere. And the presents underneath. I mean, this is absolutely stunning. And Belle is hanging up a rose. She's adding to the tree. So the decorations of the tree are gold bows, red roses, and like pale yellow candlesticks. I mean, I think this is just absolutely stunning. I want to keep this out on a pin board all year round. I love this so much. This was my ultimate Grail pin. I don't even know how John knew, but he did, and he got it. And I mean, he could have gotten me like nothing else, and I would have been stunned and super happy. Okay guys, I'm about to show you the second to last thing in this video, which was John's favorite present that he thinks won Christmas, and I can completely see why. It is this blanket. It is luxurious, it is soft, it is warm as anything, and it was not cheap. I got it at Hot Topic, because of course I did, the same time I was buying the Monopoly. I also got him a Jack Skellington air freshener for his car, but that's already in the car and you guys don't really need to see an air freshener, but he loved that too. And it is Nightmare Before Christmas themed. So the top of the blanket, you get Sally in such a cute art style. Then it goes down to 0. We keep going, we get to the man himself with some really cool differing expressions. You get the graveyard scene. then finally you get masks representing Lock, Shock, and Barrel. Oh, no wait, not finally. There's also Oogie Boogie. I don't even remember that. This is not your ordinary fleece blanket. It's called a Sherpa throw, and I tell you, I don't even care if I like the fandom. If I see Hot Topic selling more of these, I'm grabbing them. They are the softest blankets. They're incredibly warm. John has been like, he's like, okay, you can't use my blanket. Just kidding. I mean, he did say that, but he didn't mean it. And, but he has been serious about not letting the cats lay on this, and that's pretty big time for us because our cats love blankets more than anything else in the whole world. So this was the gift that he felt won Christmas. And I was so excited he loved it, and it was the last present I gave him. So I'm really, you always want the last one to be like a good one, right? Now, for the gift to me that won Christmas, and as much as I love everything else I got, this kind of just stole my heart a little extra because it's something I can keep out all year round, and it's something I wanted to buy for myself, and my sister got it for me. It's the Jim Shore figurine of, it says Once Upon a Time, and it is the Beauty and the Beast characters. So first, this part looks like a book, and it actually has like page detailing. When you turn it around, here it is. Here's the most beautiful scene I've ever seen in my life. Once Upon a Time, in just these beautiful letters, and of course Belle and the Beast in their dance scene, and you have Lumiere over here, and I almost said Gaston, Cogsworth over here, and let me show you close up like their faces and the cutest little details you ever did see. You can see like that Jim Shore scroll work throughout as well. I legit thought about buying this for myself like the day after Christmas, so it's incredible that my sister had already bought it for me. Whew, that was a lot. This video was probably a lot longer than I had intended or anticipated, but my family and, you know, John's family, we really go all out for Christmas. It's something we look forward to every year. I'm buying gifts throughout the year. John loves his last minute shopping, although he did really good this year. He bought a lot of those pins in advance. So it was really nice of him and really thoughtful. I think we just love showing people that we think of them and care for them, and then you always have those little reminders that somebody thought of you and loved you enough to pick something up. Just, that's kind of, all of us have that love language, that's present buying and giving. So there's a lot of love languages out there, but that's definitely in our family a dominant one. Thank you so much for watching. I'd love to hear some of the gifts you thought were awesome down below. I'd love to hear what you got for people or what people got for you that you loved, especially if you think I might like it or John might like it or my sister might like it or whomever, because I can always pick it up already for next year. I have so many cool videos coming out. Guys, I got my first Bibbidi Bobbidi box. I'm gonna go film that next, and you're gonna get, that's like the next video on my list to film. And then John and I are also gonna film opening the rest of those Main Street mystery boxes, and I cannot wait to see what other pins he got for me. Yay! So it's like extended Christmas also, right? Never want it to be over. I'm ready for Christmas to be over. Thank you so much for following along, and I'm gonna see you real soon.